Hello, I'm Rebecca. This is Ben. We are Outliers Overland, and we want to welcome you to our video today where we begin traversing the North Country on our way home to Alaska. Before we get started with that, though, we wish you all health, happiness, and wellness. We hope you're home enjoying time with your families right now.
And a little bit of a spoiler alert. We made it home. We are in our office right now. But before we jump into said journey, you deserve a little bit of a backstory. When the whole coronavirus thing started happening, we were in Baja California, Mexico, filming our documentary. And I can't lie, we were having fun and enjoying ourselves too. We love that place. But then the call out to shelter in place happened. So we did the responsible thing. We found a gem of a little campground down there. It was a slice of paradise. I loved it. And we stayed there for 10 days. But during those 10 days, it just kind of kept getting a little worse. Longer restrictions, this and that. Well, you know, we got to thinking we have a house in Alaska, and it's very tough to be on the road in the midst of this whole situation. We also have a mother, Rebecca's mom, who is a cancer survivor and full-times in a Class A diesel-pushing motorhome. And as you know, RV parks, campgrounds, whatnot, they are closing down, and it is getting to be a real struggle for the full-time community to find safe places to stay.
We're excited to share two more Overlander updates from around the globe today, starting with Dan, Marlene, and the kids from Molly Mish. Over the years, they have done all kinds of hardcore adventures. While the COVID virus has been going on, they were in Morocco trying to get back to their home base in Europe right now, and they're going to share what it was like with you today.
We also have an update from Karsten and Steffi of Dino Adventures. First met them, right across the street at our neighbor's house, and then ran into them again on the Baja California Peninsula. They are on a Pan-American round-the-world trip in an awesome expedition vehicle. We also are very excited to share the trailer for our documentary, Overland, North America. I know you guys are going to love it, and stay tuned for that in 2021.
Last bit of business before we get started, be sure to check out our website, outliersoverland.com, for additional travelers resources and more interaction with us. Now, we hope you enjoy our journey into the frozen north.
Well, it is a bright one here in Shelby, Montana today. A little bit of snow fell last night, and we are about to cross into Canada. Our second of 3 international border crossings on this 4,000-mile journey. We have received a lot of mixed thoughts.
Wow, so many different reports. Like, oh, you're going to have to quarantine in the States. You're going to have to quarantine in Canada. They're not going to let you across. You need this. You need that. I think it depends on who you get when you cross.
But we did call the Sweetgrass station, and they said, oh yeah, you are Alaskans. You fall under the essential travel rule. Mm-hmm. And now for Mom, we have a doctor's note, and the plan is to have you driving Mom's coach, and I'll be solo in this one for the border crossing, just because, you know, if an Alaskan's with her.
In the car.
Yeah, I'd say that's our one wild card for the day, aside from hopefully not some slick roads.
Yeah, I think with the roads were warm underneath. The snow is brand new and it's already cleared. We're gonna be fine.
Well, nothing to it but to do it.
I wanna go there someday. I know we're going somewhere into the danger zone. It all points right to that. I set myself aside, lead the way on this drive. If you don't know the way, we can stop and make a change. I know we walk for days, losing hope, fading love. This night will be okay, waking up to another day.
You ready for this?
I sure as hell hope so.
Have you been practicing?
I have been in my head.
Practicing, I'm an Alaskan. Say it.
I am an Alaskan.
No, say it.
I am an Alaskan resident.
Say it like a sourdough.
I'm an Alaskan resident.
Oh, yeah. You're doing something to me right now. Well, good luck at getting Mom across the border.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.
See you on the other side. Well, there's still only one direction to go from here. Okay, Mom and Beck are at the border. Taking my sunglasses off and my hat. That is kind of rule number one. Well, good news. Beck and Mom made it into Canada. And now it's my turn. Greetings. Would you like me to turn off my engine?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
No problem.
Do you live in Alaska as well?
Yes.
Okay. Any alcohol, tobacco in the vehicle?
There's like 2 halfway bottles of like tequila and
Okay.
rum.
Weapons, firearms,
No, not on this trip.
cannabis,
Nope.
cannabis products,
No.
tasers, pepper spray, stun guns, mace knives, overcapacity magazines.
No.
You in possession of currency or monetary instruments value equal to or greater than $10,000 Canadian.
No.
Okay, so as I was telling her, if you guys need to get gas, you pay at the pump.
Mm-hmm.
If not, just call the inside, let them know what's going on, and then if you have to pay cash, however, or through the window, right? Minimal contact with everyone else, okay?
Don't have to tell me twice.
Okay, there you go. Have a
Thank
good day.
you, sir. Thank you for being here. Stay safe.
Thanks, you too.
We are in Canada. Thank you so much, Canada, for allowing us to pass through your country. We love you, but I am going to have to apologize again because we are not going to be spending much time in you this visit. Food Soda Freightliner.
I read you loud and clear.
Congratulations and welcome to Alberta, Canada. Let's get the hell out of here and get to Alaska.
I like your plans, man.
Got away from it all, everything here reminds me of you. I got 200 downs on a list that I will try to do. I can't see myself with anyone else. So I got to the first on a list with a pain in my heart. No matter what I'll do, I try not to fall apart.
It's time to get off the road for the night, and there is always a Walmart. Yes, it was not the most productive day considering we got a late start waiting for the roads to clear, and then heck, it was slow going there for a while. But we are making progress. Definitely the climate has changed. That tailwind, the south wind, our whole way up through the states disappeared, and it totally switched to north, and the fuel economy is reflecting that. But fortunately, I think with the exchange rate and fuel prices right now, this is like the lowest period that we have experienced for fuel prices in Canada. It is toasty warm in the camper, and I have the Wallace fired off. This thing is great. It is like having a fireplace right inside the camper. Well, I think this day is a wrap. We will see you in the morning.
Hey, Ben and Rebecca. I'm glad to see you guys made it to Sewer safely. It was a long drive, but I hope you can relax now. My name is Dan. We're a family of 5 who've been traveling full-time since 2008. At the beginning, we were in a 25-foot Airstream trailer. In 2016, we switched to a 4-wheel camper. For about a year and a half, we traveled all through mainland Mexico, and then eastern Canada, all through the Maritimes, and then Newfoundland and Labrador. As of 2 years ago, we've been in the 2017 Sprinter 4-wheel drive 170. We built it from a cargo van, and we've been traveling across Europe ever since. We went as far east as Turkey, and this past winter we were in Morocco. The global coronavirus pandemic hit while we were in Morocco. In the middle of March, the country went into lockdown. We had to make a choice, whether we were going to stay in Morocco and wait it out, or try to make it up to the border and take a ferry back to Europe. As we have residency and citizenship in the country of Croatia, we were allowed to come back to Europe and drive through all of Europe and back to Croatia. However, it was difficult for the countries to agree to open the borders during the lockdown to get us onto the ferry in Morocco and back into either Spain or France. We were stuck at the border for a full week waiting for the ambassadors of various European countries to work with the Moroccan government. And eventually, we were able to get on a ferry that took us all the way to France. We had to drive about 1,500 miles from when we got off the ferry in France all the way back to Croatia, where as of yesterday, we just finished our required 14-day quarantine. Now, Croatia is still in lockdown, so we're not really able to go anywhere, but we are now allowed to go to the store, go for short walks, as long as we follow social distancing guidelines. And I hope all of you guys are safe out there. We can get through this as long as we all work together. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you guys out there soon.
To leave a Canadian province. These roads are absolutely horrific in northern Alberta. You guys, I apologize that you have to put up with this. We are about to cross into British Columbia, and yes, let's see if the roads are better. Oh my, look at that.
And we are making our obligatory stop at the Alaska Highway sign. Gotta say, this is getting a little monotonous since this is our 8th time together in the last 5 years.
I am very happy to be in British Columbia right now, and I think a lot of you guys appreciate how we kind of say it like it is, but at this time, preface it at this time because roads are alive, northern Alberta has some of the worst road surfaces we have ever experienced in our travels. Ranks right up there with Louisiana. You guys, I hate to say it, you guys got some horrible stretches of road. Baja has some really nasty stretches of roads at times, but this past stretch, from give or take out of Edmonton to here, to the provincial line, about 300 miles or so of just bounce, and like that kind of death wobble of bounce that you cannot break free from unless you back off the throttle. So we were only making like 45 and 50 mile an hour if we are lucky. I do know the expedition vehicle does not ride like a Cadillac, but instantly when we crossed the line, the roads improved. I know there's a backstory here, guys, so if you're from Alberta and you know what the deal is, please tell me what's going on.
That's one of the reasons you didn't hear much from us yesterday, was that the roads were so rough, it was hard to get a word out edgewise. And for better or for worse, one of the things about this journey is it's 2,400 miles. I wouldn't say there's exactly like a dilly-dallying aspect to this trip. At least for us, we have purpose and we're going forward at all times in an effort to get home, but there's still plenty of time to talk to you guys, even if we miss an entire day. Well, when we left Montana, we knew we were gonna have a couple of days of rough weather. You saw the precipitation. We had some nights where we were experiencing single digits or low teens in terms of temps. But today marks the day where we're hitting that sweet spot in the weather forecast that we could see coming. Warmer temperatures, we're even expecting maybe something in the 40s in the near future. There's sunshine, the roads are clear. We have a chance of a wintry mix tomorrow, but otherwise, things should be pretty nice for the rest of the drive.
Well, we've landed at an RV park in Fort Nelson, British Columbia. Yeah, I have to say, I really do like self-contained camper units because it is awesome being able to come in at the end of the day after a long drive to a warm home, take a hot shower, fire up the stove to maintain heat, and the solar was working. Our Battleborn batteries are at, let's see here, wait for it. Oh, there it is, 100% charge. It's just such a load taken off when things are like this. All right, well, long day, but there'll be another one tomorrow. Good night. If the open road was calling, well, we're all fueled up and ready for another long day on the road. I think we're going on about 12 straight days of being on the run. This journey started down in the middle of the Baja California peninsula, and we have just been going nonstop, and we're not even done yet. There are still several long days of driving ahead of us. I'm gonna ride solo today. Beck is gonna drive the beast of a motorhome. Mom's not feeling too hot. Little backstory, Mom's a cancer survivor, but also Mom is a physician, MD, and Rebecca is a physician assistant, which is like a master's in medicine. So there's a lot of medical experience and knowledge on board with our little caravan, and we have nothing to do but drive at this point.
What do I believe? What makes me feel it to write you this song? 2 hours a day, 5 months and a year. Oh, I loved you too long. You keep blowing me out, I keep holding you in. I keep asking myself, oh, why do you still hurt? Why do you still hurt? Who's wrong and who's right? I cannot decide, 'cause I'm sober tonight. I cannot escape, I'm here till it breaks. Oh, how my heart aches. You keep blowing me out, I keep holding you in. I keep asking myself, oh, why do you still hurt? Why do you still hurt?
Well, this is new. I'm not exactly sure what's going on up here, but This stretch is like the British Columbia and Yukon border. So, oh, they're giving me some direction here. All right, this is probably some coronavirus thing. Greetings.
How are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Good, thanks. We're doing a COVID-19 check stop here today, so I have a few questions for you.
Yes.
Might as well shut down.
Okay. I am.
Where are you headed today?
Today, we've logged about 300 miles so far, so I'm not sure, but we're booking home to Alaska.
Sure. So you're going back to Alaska. Are you making stops here in the Yukon?
Fuel only.
Fuel only?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be passing straight through? You're not going to stop for the night?
Oh, well, yeah, given the time of the day, I'm sure there's going to be a stop for the night. I guarantee it.
Sure, okay. Do you have any ID?
Yes, I do. You want to touch something of mine in this coronavirus mess, or just take a peek at it?
I'm going to get you to hold it out so I can...
All right, because it's some funky times right now, isn't it?
Yeah. Thanks. You get a phone number?
Area code 907.
Okay. And where in Alaska are you headed to?
My house in Seward.
Seward?
Seward.
What's your address?
Physical or mailing?
Physical. Do you have any idea where you're going to spend the night tonight?
I think it'd be ambitious to make Whitehorse, given the fact that we've logged 300 miles today.
Sure, yeah.
So probably some rest stop in the middle of here.
Do you have a cough, fever, or any difficulty breathing?
No.
Okay, so for non-Yukon residents who are transiting through their territory,
Mm-hmm.
you're required that you complete your transit within 24 hours of entry.
What time is it? I'll do my very best.
That's what we're asking people.
Because we got my wife's mom, 2 dogs, sharing drivers.
Sure, yeah. Yep.
Safety is paramount as well.
Yep. What we're doing is we're asking people to do their very best to transit in a quickly as they can.
I guarantee that will happen.
Yeah, and we're also asking people to limit as much as they can their interactions with any other people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are all set up for groceries and
Oh yeah.
that kind of thing? Perfect. So
Yep.
I've got a declaration here. The information you've provided is true and correct.
Yes.
You're aware that the Civil Emergency Measures Health Protection Order requires you to complete your transit of Yukon within 24 hours.
Like you said, do the best I can. Yes.
And failure to comply with the orders is punishable by law.
Are they checking at Beaver Creek?
No.
Okay. So we're all good?
Yep, you're good.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you being out here, and stay safe.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's go get some fuel. And they said they were very forgiving on the whole 24-hour thing because they understand how long of a distance it is.
Yeah, my guy told me the same thing because I told him we already been driving since early this morning from Fort Nelson. What if we took longer than 24? He said nobody was going to come after us. They just want to know that you're making forward progress and not stopping anywhere.
Welcome to Watson Lake. We have logged about 307, actually we have logged 307 miles today. That little stop was rather unusual, but they said we had 24 hours to make it through Yukon. That, considering we've already logged what we have today, that is mighty ambitious. They made us agree on their little thing that we know that we only have 24 hours, but in the same breath, they said, do the best you can. We understand that it is a long ways to cover. So, that being said, that was my favorite stretch of this drive. Something about the rivers, lakes, mountains, wildlife, it all just works. And but normally what we do is stop at the hot springs in Liard, but given the whole pandemic thing, those are closed. But time to top off the tanks and find a place to park for the night.
A quick update on Mom. I think I hopped in the driver's seat this morning in Fort Nelson. She was just not feeling so hot. This is a really long drive, wearing her out. I wanted to give her a complete day of rest from the wheel. She didn't sleep too well last night. Hoping if we get a good night's rest tonight, she'll feel better in the morning. I know it looks like we stopped in the middle of the day, but we actually started super early, and the sun's not setting up here till 9:19. I checked it today. So it looks like the afternoon, but it's actually pretty late in the evening. I was a little nervous about driving the motorhome today because I knew we had some pretty steep grades to climb, a lot of downhills, the potential for weather, and I would say I'm getting really comfortable with the transmission on that motorhome now. That's the part for me that's really different from when we drove Nellie. But there really, honestly, is no comparison. That Freightliner diesel pusher chassis compared to our F-Series chassis on Nellie, it weighs so much more, a lot more power. And once I got really comfortable with the transmission, then there's just no comparison. It was like, didn't even know there was precipitation on the road because we did hit some snow. So I got really comfortable with that today. It feels good. I think I've got the motorhome nailed. We camped in one of our favorite type of camping spots for this journey, which is just a rest stop on the side of the road. You can always find them in the Yukon Territory and British Columbia. I know it looks like we stopped in the middle of the day, but actually it's quite late in the evening. It's just that we're far enough north now that the sun is setting after 9 p.m. So definitely starting to feel like home. Very glad to be off the road though and ready to get some rest. And I think someone has beat me to it.
This is comfortable back here.
Yeah, the sun looks like it might be in your eyes a little. We might
Yeah,
have to
it
adjust
is.
that.
But with the heat that the stove puts off, and it is relatively warm right now, you have to have the windows open, which is this, I don't know, I've grown to love it, this contrast of like cold air out there, warm in here, and I don't know, just like having your head 6 inches from outside, it really, that's one of the things I've grown to love about this camper is like we're many degrees closer to camping.
It's perfect sleeping weather though, right?
It is.
I think we're gonna call it a night. Maybe watch a movie, snuggle under the covers. We are definitely pushing on tomorrow, but I have no idea where we're gonna make it to.
We're supposed to make it to Alaska.
You're right, we have 24 hours to get there.
Gee, my goodness.
It's gonna be a really long drive.
Hey guys, how are you doing today? My name is Carsten and I'm traveling together with my girlfriend Stephanie, who is inside right now cooking the lunch. And yeah, we are traveling in this vehicle. It's an Iveco B80 C80, pretty rare old fire truck from France. We shipped it over to Halifax and doing the Pan American Highway. This is a short version of our story. And yeah, Ben from his and hers vlog asked us about how is the situation for us right now traveling along the Pan American Highway with the coronavirus, with the COVID-19. What I can tell you, most of the other travelers, the other German travelers we know, flew back home to be more safe, I guess. For us right now, we feel pretty safe here in Baja California, so we decided to keep staying here on Baja and waiting until this is over someday. Hopefully it's going quick and we don't have to stay too long here, but I mean, it could be worse. Yeah. By the way, they closed all the beaches in Baja California Sur, as you can see. Okay, guys, I mean, this is not really a public beach, so they closed all the public beaches. And this year, where we are right now, it's an open ranch where nobody came, nobody stepped by the last 7 or 8 days. I don't really remember. I guess it was 8 days, yeah. Hey guys, I probably have to update you again because just 2 days after I recorded that video on the beach, the police came by and sent us away. So they told us all the beaches in all over Mexico are closed for at least 30 days. They will open again in end of April, maybe, you never know. And yeah, what we did now, we called a Canadian guy who have some yard here in south of Todos Santos, and now we set it up our little Corona camp on his ranch. He have a pit toilet over there, and yeah, we also set it up our hammocks. Yeah, that's our situation now. We don't know for how long we're gonna stay here. At least 1 week, because we don't have any potable water here. We probably will need to fill up in about 1 week or maybe 2, and we don't know yet if we come back then or if we gonna search another place to camp. Yeah, it's kind of situation with this virus, but we should be alright. It still could be worse. Okay guys, see you next video. Stop dreaming, start planning, and have a good day.
I've said it many times, I know I would change my ways, I know for sure. When all the crows decide to meet, they settle down beneath my feet. I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned my lesson hanging on. Come sit here with me by the fire and let it go for a little while.
Good morning from the Alaska Highway, and yet another day on the road. We looked back. We've been on the run 14 days now since we left Mexico, but it is definitely the downhill stretch, guys. It's starting to look more and more like Alaska on today's drive, which happens to be our last day driving through Canada. Thank you guys so much for the passage through your country on our way home. The weather, gosh, it is looking like a beautiful spring day. This is our favorite time of year in some regards. We always like to say March, because you have really long days. It's usually not bitterly cold. You have a big snowpack to work with. You'll still get some snows, but March was bitterly cold to get here. So I'm thinking April is the gold month for spring.
All right, he's got a trailer on behind, and he is, oh my God, he's towing a little cub.
Yeah, that is a super cub.
That is too cool. That is so Alaskan. I love it.
Or the North Country.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like cubs.
Because our Canadian friends also have the de Havilland beaver, and yeah. Definitely North Country type of material.
If you're moving to Alaska, you gotta bring your airplane with you.
My guide, let me follow. Can I hold your hand for old time's sake? And all this time you waited for me. Little did we know, I guess it's fate. Now all is in our hands.
Well, I ducked back in here to get out of the wind, and this seems like a very fitting place to end the video. It's the final stretch to the US border, and relatively speaking, it is pretty darn close from here. So, just like we started the last video, or the one you're watching now, crossing into Canada, the next one's gonna pick up crossing into Alaska. Gosh, thank you so much for riding along with us. I hope all of you guys are well and weathering this mess out safely and making the most of things. But yeah, hit that subscribe button because we still have probably about, I don't know, 700 miles to go.